Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to be showing you my basic drawing supplies, so that will be my drawing supplies, my inking supplies, and my coloring supplies. Everything that I use is the basic things that I use for making all of my videos that are not digitally done. I'm also going to be showing like miscellaneous type thing like lights and how I light my drawing space and stuff when I'm filming videos, so here we go. I also wanted to mention that everything that I talk about in this video, I will hopefully have links to the product itself in the video description, so if you want to know where I got something or anything, they will be located there. If I can find where I got it from, because some of the stuff I have is kind of old and it's not made anymore, but I'll try my best to find everything that I can so that everybody else can find it. And if you have any questions about how I use something, where I got something, what I use something for, please feel free to leave me a comment and I will get back to you. And I guess we shall get on with the video now. Alright, so when I'm drawing, I have a small variety of things that I like to use. I don't always use all these things at once, and I don't use some of them hardly at all, but I use them enough to include them in a basic drawing supplies video. So the first thing, I guess, would be the pencils, and all the pencils that I normally use are here. This is my Create-A-Color Monolith drawing pencil box. Get back in there. I used this mostly when I was in school for my advanced drawing for animation class. It just has a variety of drawing pencils, and they're woodless, and I really like these pencils a lot, even though they're super fragile. Like this one I dropped and it died, so if you drop them on the ground, you're basically done. But come with pencils. There's a couple, or mostly black, and then there's one that's like fused into here because I never use it, but it's in blue. I'm not going to take it out because I can't. It comes with a kneaded eraser. This one's pretty dead, so I probably should throw it away. A pencil sharpener, a cap that goes on a pencil if you use it a lot and you don't want your tip to break. And then this is a pencil holder, so you take like your little pencil nib and you can just like hold it in, and then you can use it like a regular pencil if you've used them up so much that they've gotten kind of short. I've used this a few times because I've had this box for a long time, and a couple of the pencils I actually have repurchased and just put them in because you can buy these pencils individually. Alright, so onto the mechanical pencils that I use. This is mainly what I use when I'm working in my sketchbook. Sometimes I like to use the drawing pencils, but I just feel like they get a bit messy in the sketchbook, so and it's easier to carry around in like a pencil pouch when you're out and about. I use two regular mechanical pencils. They're both the same brand. These are both Zebra Airfit mechanical pencils. This one, as you can see, is quite broken. This is the Franken pencil. It used to be a pink pencil, that's why the body is pink, but then I broke my blue pencil and I broke the pink pencil, so I combined the unbroken pieces to make a regular, not broken pencil. But this is the Zebra Airfit. This is the Zebra Airfit Light. They're the same pencil. They both take 0.5mm lead. This one's just thinner, and I like thicker pencils, like mechanical pencils, but I like this one for when I'm like out. So, but they both work the same and they both work really well. These are just the ones that I prefer though. Alright, so these are both Colorase pencils by Prismacolor. They're just like kind of like colored pencils. They have erasers on them that don't really work that well, to be honest. They work to an extent, but these are the pencils that I use for 2D animation. Most 2D animators use just like a blue and a red. I don't really like the blue and red. I will use them if I'm animating, but when I'm animating on my own, I like to use these. I also draw with these, but the colors I use are Terracotta and Tuscan Red, and I use them together. A couple of the sketches that I've done for videos have been using these, so yay! Alright, and so this is my pencil sharpener. This is a Helix pencil sharpener. I bought this at Blick. It sharpens pencils. There's not really anything fancy about it. It's just a big pencil sharpener. This is the one I keep at home. It's really huge, so I'll usually take a small one like this out with me if I'm going somewhere, and then I'll just leave this one at home. So, yeah, there we go. And pencil lead, I just use regular old Pentel pencil head in the 0.5 millimeter size. Bought this at the local department store here, so nothing fancy. And as for erasers, I use 3 different erasers. I don't use them all at once, depending on what I'm working on. This one is the smallest size, and this is a Mononoke 3.8. It erases things. I don't know. But I just bought this one because it's a bit smaller in size, so I can get into smaller corners with it. And this is the eraser that I use most often. This is a Pentel, just regular old eraser, but you can see the sizes are a bit different. And the last eraser I use, this is my Tombow Mono eraser. This is my favorite eraser. And this is a big plastic eraser, but yeah. This one works really well. I like this one a lot. Alright, so that is the basic drawing stuff, and now I'm going to show you the sketchbooks that I'm using, and then I will go on to inking stuff and coloring stuff. Alright, so here's the sketchbook I use. Actually, there's 2, but I'm not using 2. This one I just finished up, but I figured I'd show it anyway. This is a B-paper Como sketch in the 9x9 inches, and it just has 30 sheets of paper in it, but I just finished this sketchbook up. So, but I wanted to try a different shape rather than just the standard like 8.5 by 11 sketchbook. Adjust the shadow. Okay. But yeah, this one's filled up. This is the new sketchbook that I'm going to be using. I have not touched it yet because I literally just filled that one up like yesterday. So this is just a basic craft paper sketchbook that my friend Katie got me. I believe she bought it at Barnes & Noble because that's where she works. So yeah. It's from Barnes & Noble, and it's really cool, and I like it a lot. So, yeah. And I almost forgot the thing that I'm filming on, which is my drawing mat. I put this under anything that I'm working on. If I'm cutting stuff, I flip it over. That's why it has a bunch of, like, cuts in the back of it, because I use it as a cutting mat. But this is just I think it's Martha Stewart. I got it at Michael's, so, and it's dirty. But I put this under everything that I'm working on just to give my drawings a bit of a cushion, especially if I'm working on loose paper. It just makes it not as rough when you're drawing if you have like a cushion underneath it. So drawing mats are good. Yeah. Alright, so now on to my basic inking supplies. These are not all the inking pens that I have, but I just grabbed a small selection to show you. I'll show you the rest when I show my coloring supplies because they're all stored in the same spot. So I use Copic Multiliners for when I'm inking any illustration that I do for my channel. I always use Copic Multiliners because I just find that they work best for my needs when I'm using Copics. They don't smear or anything, and I like that. Oops, throw that all over the place. This is the Copic Drawing Pen. I don't use this for inking videos. I use this for sketching. It tends to catch on the paper a little bit more than I like, but it is kind of fun just to mess around with when you're sketching. So I guess I could have included that in my sketching supplies, but, you know, whatever. These are Copic Sp Multiliners. These are usually what I tend to use for everything. Yeah, they're just like the regular Copic Multiliners. They have their nib, but the nib does come out. Oh wow, that came right out. That's cool. So you can change out the nib. And you can change out the cartridge, if I can get this one out, which I probably can't. Oh, it came out. Yeah, but I like these a lot just because you can change out the nibs and the cartridges. I've had to change the nibs in a couple of my pens, maybe once or twice, and not all of them, just the ones I use a lot, and I've never had to change the inks out of them before. And I bought my set of SPs when they first came out, which was probably 5 or 6 years ago when they first came out. I bought them right, like the day they were released. I bought them because I wanted them. But they last a really long time. That's all I can say about that. And then these two are just the regular Copic Multiliners, and this is in brown, and I think this is warm gray. Doesn't say. Yeah, this is warm gray. But I have all the multiliner colors in both regular and the ones that come in SP as well. But I will show you those when I get to my marker shelf, because that's where they're stored. Alright, and as for paper, this is the paper that I use for all of my videos. This is the Gina K Pure Luxury cardstock in ivory. So the paper is not white. I have a really bright light on it, so you can't really see what color it is, but it is like a very soft cream color. I like the way the markers look on it rather than coloring on white, so I always use the ivory colored paper. It says 80 on it because this is the 80-pound paper. It also comes in 120-pound, but I like the 80-pound just for more simplistic things. The 120 takes marker better if you're doing like something really super elaborate, but I usually work on the 80-pound just because it's a bit more flexible, I guess. But yeah, this is the paper that I always use for all of my videos. Alright, so now onto the light boxes I use. Yes, I have two light boxes. The first one is my smaller light box that I just use if I'm doing like smaller illustrations, usually like 4x6 ones. This is an Artograph light pad, A920. I'm not sure what size this is in the light pad series, but I believe it's the medium size. I'm not sure. I know it's not the small one because there's one that's a lot smaller than this, but yeah, this is the one that I use for smaller illustrations. And this one is my bigger light box. This is a 16 by 20 light box, so it's really big. This is a TracePad LED light box. As far as I know, they don't make these anymore. I bought this, I'd say about 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe, and I have not seen one for sale since. I bought mine from uzak.com, and I know that they definitely do not have them on that website any longer, but I bought this one because of the size. Like, it's big, it's really huge, and I like that if I'm working on a bigger piece, I can just kind of spread my stuff out and I don't have to worry about trying to like cram a little illustration or a big illustration into a teeny tiny space, and it's really super bright. So it's easy to see through the paper because it's LED and it's quite bright. So I like this one a lot, but if I can find a link to where you guys can buy it, I will add a link in the description. Otherwise, you'll probably have to go with a different brand if you want a light box that's this size. So when I'm recording a video, I will always use this. This is Post-it labeling and cover-up tape. I found this in my desk one day, and it's kind of like low-tack sticky tape, sort of like the back of a Post-it note. So what I'll do is I'll take, say, a page in my sketchbook, and I'll take a piece of this off, and I'll lay the paper over it and tape it together, and then I'll turn my light box on, and that's how I ink my drawings. So I'll just kind of tape the sides together. I'll usually rip this out of my sketchbook and then put it back in later, like how this one is kind of taped, because this one was removed from my sketchbook. Yeah. And that's how I film my videos. So I'll just take this tape and hook it to the edges or wherever, and then I will just ink my video, or ink the illustration, and I'll leave the bottom open so I can flip it up, and then I won't have to worry about it moving. So yeah, so that is it. Boop. For my inking supplies, and now goodbye. I'm going to show you guys my coloring supplies. Alright, so these are my basic coloring supplies, which, as you guys know, I use Copics for most of my coloring videos, so these are my Copic markers. I have them all on these two shelves. I got these shelves made from organizemore.com. There will be a link in the description below. Not sponsored. But yeah, these shelves are designed to hold markers. So I just had two of them made, and they store my Copics really well. I have the entire Copic collection, and then some because I have a couple doubles and stuff, but I keep my Copic coloring chart right here. So here's my coloring chart. Yay. But yeah, these are what I use for all of my videos, and yeah. As I said earlier, here are my multiliners. Yeah. I do have other coloring supplies, but since I am kind of a Copic artist on YouTube, that's mainly what I use. If you'd like to see the rest of my coloring supplies, watch my desk tour video, because I do definitely show those supplies in one of those videos. So, I also wanted to mention that I am going to be doing a Copic collection video, since I've gotten a million requests for it, and I haven't done it yet, because I'm terrible. But I will be doing that really soon, as well as a updated sketchbook video, since I kind of forgot about it, because I'm terrible again. Okay, so that is it for the Copic markers, and now I'm going to show just like my miscellaneous stuff that I use for making videos. Okay, so the last few things I'm going to show you are things that I use for like filming and audio recording and digital painting and stuff. I forgot about this. This right here is my blue Snowball mic. This is what I use to record all my audio commentary. It's just a microphone, but it's pink and I like it. Yeah, nothing fancy. I use Sony Audio Forge Sound Studio to record all my commentary on my computer. And these, I'm sorry about my squeaking tripod, if you can hear that, which you probably can. These two things right here are my two Ott Lights. The pink one's broken, and it has been broken for a long time. I've mentioned it in an old video. It doesn't even turn on anymore, but I use it to hold my camera while I'm filming. The blue one is the one that I use for my light, and I also have that all the way up there that's glowing like the light of day. That's another light that I use, I guess, when I'm filming. I also just got a softbox for Christmas, so I'm going to start using that. So, yay, better lighting. This thing back here, right here, this is my Cintiq. I have a Cintiq 22 HD. It's big. It's on an arm, but I'm not going to pull it out or anything because it's tucked back so it doesn't move around. But this is what I use for all my digital illustrations. This is the pen that goes with it, and the holder. But this is my baby. I love it so much. It's really helped with digital illustration because I never really liked using an actual tablet because I like to be able to see my hand when I'm drawing because I'm a traditional artist, but having this has really helped me out a lot with digital illustration since I've only started doing digital illustration this past year. So, yay for Cintiqs. They're expensive, but totally worth it. Alright, so I guess that's everything for my basic drawing supplies. I'm going to end with this lovely shot of my desk. As I said earlier, if there's any questions or anything, I'm wanting to know where I got something or how I use something, etc., feel free to leave me a comment, and I will leave a list with links, hopefully, in the video description below of where you can find some of this stuff. This is my pencil case. I also filmed a what's in my pencil case video because I got a request for it and I thought it was a fun idea. So probably in a couple weeks I'll post this video since I already have it filmed. I just got to edit it all together. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please comment and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next video.